Hello and welcome to Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve and our 25 days of drams. Our penultimate dram is about to be revealed. Thank you so much for tuning in for so long, those of you who've been watching. And don't forget to join me tomorrow for Christmas Day. If you haven't done so, do make sure you give us your thoughts on what you'd like an advent calendar for next year. And if you're the lucky person that won the 25 drams, I hope you're enjoying tucking in by now. Let's tuck in to day 24. Oh, we really are saving the best to last. So we've finished our run of 12-year-old whiskies. I think we did 5 on the trot. But we've got an excellent dram here from Glen, Scotia. It is their double cask. And that is another Campbeltown single malt Scotch whisky. So that is our third Campbeltown dram on the trot. We've had Kilkerran, we've had Springbank. So Glen Scotia is the third distillery in Campbeltown. We've done the trifecta. So what can I tell you about Glen Scotia that's different to Kilkerran, made by Glengyle Distillery, and Springbank? Well, I think the first thing of note for me is Glen Scotia is much closer in how they make whiskey to Springbank than to Glengyle. Well, I say that, but they may be somewhere in the middle. So they have some very traditional things going on, but they also have some of the more modern equipment, stainless steel washbacks, for example, which is part of the pre-distillation process, where the wort, which is what you get after you've mulched up the barley and made it into a sort of beer, ferments before it goes through to distills to be distilled. So some differences versus Springbank, which make it more like Glengyle, but very traditional, and they have indeed actually been around making whiskey since 1823, so they have an amazing history. And little known fact, probably because they don't make a lot of it, they are part of Loch Lomond Whiskies group. So that's the same as Inchmurrin and the Loch Lomond 12-year-old we've had. Glen Scotia are part of the same group, fantastic people, and thoroughly recommend visiting their distillery. I've had the real genuine pleasure of having a warehouse tasting there with the distillery manager, Ian McAllister, and it was an absolute joy. I wanted him to be my whiskey dad. Anyway, what can I tell you about Glen Scotia Double Cask? So this might just be, and it's a really tough category, but it might be my favourite Scotch whisky under £40. That's quite the claim, and I'll tell you why I think that. So first of all, notice it doesn't have an age statement. It is a no age statement whisky. I don't know much about the makeup of the age of the malt that's in here. I do know that it uses a combination of bourbon casks and sherry casks, hence being called double cask. I believe it's Pedro Jimenez casks they use, and you can see that that's obviously imparted some decent colour to the spirit. It also gives it a lot of complexity and depth and richness. But it has, a bit like Springbank, some of that slight savoury notes on the nose, some slightly almost meaty notes, but not in an unpleasant way, and there's a background sweetness, a slight salinity and oiliness that you'd expect from a Campbeltown dram. I'm going to give it a little taste. Oh, it's beautifully rich, and what I can only describe as rounded. There's so much fullness to the flavour. Some sweetness, savoury and sweet sherry notes to me, dried fruits, lovely caramel tones as well, dark sugars. It has a lot going on and it is really lively. I think that's just a beautiful dram. Right, well, it's Christmas Eve, so I'm going to leave you to relax with your friends and families, pour yourself a dram of something, and I will see you tomorrow for our 25th and final day. Thank you again for tuning in, and do tune in tomorrow because we've got some special little drams for you to listen to me talk about. Cheers.